A major SmackDown star possibly missing WrestleMania this year. Plus, we have the Backstage NXT reaction to the releases from this week. And WWE has banned another word. Find out what in the wrestling news now. So a major name from the SmackDown side of things is now a question mark for WrestleMania. We are, of course, talking about Iron Drew McIntyre. Drew was written off of WWE television at day one with an attack from Happy Corbin and co. And the Observer says legitimately Drew McIntyre's neck has been bothering him for months, and if he kept going, he was on the way to major surgery. Now, as of a few days ago, the plan was for McIntyre to have the neck looked at extensively over the next week. There's really nothing more known until it is fully examined. The hope is that it's not bad and he can come back soon, at least by WrestleMania, and that he won't need surgery, which will put him out for months. But right now, nobody knows. From a timing standpoint, it wasn't good because SmackDown has no other full-time top face. And a lot of question marks over Drew McIntyre making Mania today, Andrew.
Yeah, it'll be a weird one to see Drew McIntyre not there. I think there was some sort of... We were talking amongst ourselves in work and on the Twitterverse as well that, will Drew McIntyre maybe be put in that the match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, have him thrown in there as well, which would be quite interesting to see. But yeah, it's a strange one for SmackDown, who has no other full-time top face at the moment other than, I guess, Brock Lesnar's somewhat of a... Well, he's got the WWE Championship now, actually, doesn't he? But he's going between the brands and stuff. But yeah, it's a weird one. Another thing I think as well is that a lot of us were thinking once crowds get back into arenas and bums on seats again, that Drew McIntyre would have his monumentous moment again, regaining a large championship, which we haven't seen just yet. So I wonder if that's on the cards at some point soon. Perhaps maybe at Mania, if he can come back for Mania.
Gets there, yeah,
if he gets there. But yeah, it's another thing, Tom. It's another one where injury just scuppers someone. In 2022, it's just happening all over the shop.
One would hope that we can get that big moment for Drew, because there is so much love for Drew within the fan base and behind the scenes as well. He is a workhorse. He is one of those guys that when the chips are down, you can put him into any position, do anything. He's done all of the media commitments. He's done all the live events. He is a consistent, what many would call a good pair of hands, a safe pair of hands, and so much more. He can he can start the show, he can end the show, he can be in the middle, he can do whatever. And so to lose a real key player like that going into Mania is a real tough blow for WWE. And when we know more about it, of course, you'll know more at cultaholic.com. But right now, the question marks over Drew McIntyre making it to WrestleMania. There is concern behind the scenes in NXT today, as I can imagine you'll understand. We've seen a lot of releases from WWE over the past couple of days, namely a lot of older serving NXT backstage people. But it hasn't helped the morale within the NXT brand as a whole. Dave Meltzer of The Observer reporting today that talent and others in the system were very depressed regarding the news of latest releases, with many wondering of the future of the brand. I think it's safe to say, Andrew, there's quite a few people within 2.0 that are going to be absolutely fine. But with a lot of young people, like you no doubt there is some concern there today.
Without a doubt, some names that stick out in my mind, as I mentioned in one of the previous news videos, Raquel Gonzalez, perhaps, maybe even Pete Dunne. I know he's having a thing at the moment with Tony D'Angelo, but I mean, I'm not really... It's really hard to sort of put your finger on as to what's going to happen with a lot of these people that do feel like they were very much brought up and worked on by like a Regal or a Triple H and people like that, who put lots of stock behind these wrestlers. Yeah, I can't imagine it's a very nice time at all within that sphere. I imagine, as you were saying, a lot of the new talent perhaps feel as though they might be all right, they're safe, but then a lot of the people that were in there before in the black and gold brand, some of the older guard, maybe things are just very, very uncertain at the moment. And as we said before as well in the news video, it's not a nice thing. It's not a nice thing to have in a job, is it? To just be so uncertain about what's going to happen.
Absolutely not. It's not nice at all. But that's the NXT guys' reaction to the releases from this week. There was another release outside of WWE of a noteworthy kind. That is Matt Striker stepping away from Impact Wrestling. We mentioned this in the news video yesterday, I do believe, because it was a tweet that Striker put out and then deleted. More meat to this one has been added via the Wrestling Observer newsletter, who say Impact Wrestling announced on Thursday night that sorry, apologies that I'm a story ahead. We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get there, Tom.
Matt Striker, how he had been the lead announcer. Now, Matt Striker, who'd been the lead announcer for Impact, was let go this past week. Management wasn't happy with the performance, and that is something that had been in the works for months. There is no word on the replacement, but obviously something is in the works since they're doing a pay-per-view and television this week, so we could get the replacement for Matt Striker as soon as tomorrow. And yeah, to kind of reiterate what we said in a previous news video, Andrew, we didn't feel like Matt Striker was really firing on all cylinders in this Impact role.
No, definitely not. And we've known Matt Striker from his stints in a commentary on WWE and Lucha Underground and everything as well. Like, he's really enthusiastic. He puts a lot of energy into his announcing style, and I appreciate that and really like that from him as well. And I was reading the comments from that news video as well, and people were saying they really like Matt Striker for that as well, his enthusiasm for stuff, and that did shine through on Impact, but perhaps maybe not to his full potential. Maybe something was holding him back a little bit. But yeah, I think whoever picks him up next, hopefully he's able to do everything that he wants to do and put all the energy into his commentary as well. So yeah, I just hope everything's all right with Matt Striker.
We may find a replacement for him tomorrow night on Impact Hard to Kill. Talking of replacement, there's been a change to the lineup for one match at Hard to Kill for tomorrow night, hasn't there, Andrew?
Yeah, so Impact Wrestling announced on Thursday night that Alicia Edwards is replacing Rachel Ellering in the Women's Ultimate X match at Hard to Kill. No reason's been given, however, for the change in the lineup at this time. So, yeah. I mean, a nice change, a good change at that, but at the same time, yeah, just no reason at the moment, so...
Definitely one to keep an eye on with this story, because it just seems strange that Rachel Elling was taken away. No one's mentioned anything. There was nothing mentioned on Impact TV other than the replacement. Rachel Ellering's not mentioned anything online. Interesting decision to make that change. Regardless, the match will go ahead. It is a Women's Ultimate X match for the first time ever. Rachel Ellering being replaced by Alicia Edwards and being joined by Lady Frost, Jordan Grace, Chelsea Green, Rosemary, and Tasha Steeles in that one. Also, for Hard to Kill, the X Division title on the line. Trey Miguel defending against Steve Macklin. The ROH Championship being defended for the first time ever in Impact, with Jonathan Gresham facing Hail Sabin, Chris Sabin. A Texas death match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo on the card, as is a three-way match for the Impact World title. Moose, Matt Cardona, and W. Morrissey. Among other matches for that night, we'll also see the Inspiration defending the Knockouts tag titles against the Influence. We will see a 10-man hardcore war. Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath and Rhino versus the Good Brothers and Violent by Design. And we'll see Josh Alexander and Jonah going one-on-one. The trials of Josh Alexander continue on Impact Wrestling at Hard to Kill, the pay-per-view tomorrow night. I said a bad word.
No.
No.
Might have to ban you from saying that, Tom.
What this may indicate, Andrew, the word that has been banned from WWE, hasn't it?
Yes, another one, yes. So, as Dave Meltzer on The Observer writes, he says, WWE has also banned the term pay-per-view, and essentially for WWE, that term is antiquated. While the big shows are on pay-per-view, they are essentially premium live events, which is the new term they are using. As Ross noted when we were on the news the other day, premium live event, sounds very much like some sort of pornographic subscription service or something. It's very weird, and just another word on the list of banned words for WWE.
It is indeed another banned word from WWE. So let me make sure I don't catch you saying pay-per-view, or I'll have your life. More news as we get it throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you. Bye.